This is a quick demonstration of the Sentencing Guidelines application for magistrates and solicitors in courts in England and Wales. The application is designed around giving you access to the Magistrates Court Sentencing Guidelines with quick and easy references to their indexes by A to Z, by offence group and by Act of Parliament, with additional supporting material for your role in the court system. So we include all the court bench books, we include pronouncement cards including Welsh, we include explanatory material, additional guidelines, your own documents, probation, and favourites and history we'll come on to as we go through the application. Really to help with the workflow of your job on the bench or in court, we've provided some quick links to fines calculator, drink drive disqualification rehabilitation court dates, adjournments, and also sentencing, adjournments, Crown Court, and etc. pronouncement cards, which we can configure through setup. So if I am working in a Welsh court with a Welsh language requirement, this automatically moves these over into that court requirement. We'll stick with adult courts, that's all I do at the moment. So we'll just go back to our alphabetic list of offences. And what I generally do in preparation for court in the assembly room is I populate my favourites list with the court running order. So this is the court list that I'm using to prepare my day, and I may have a number of offences which I'm adding into my list of favourites. So we're quickly building up a running order of offences we're expecting to deal with through our morning and afternoon session. And if we've made a mistake or we need to select a different offence, we can deselect some of these and perhaps find the offence through offence group or by Act of Parliament, which gives you a specific list of offences using the Act of Parliament description. My court bench books give me access to any of the particular sections I need information on, such as alcohol treatment, and my pronouncement cards give me all the cards for the particular court I'm working in, with a quick link to these from the bottom of the application. Explanatory material, additional guidelines, and for all the additional documents you've collected and normally placed into your A4 folder, we can add these through iTunes into My Documents. For example, the Senior Presiding Judge's letter concerning the use of personal technology is a useful one to have on the tablet just in case we do need it. Okay, so going back to an alphabetical list, I could perhaps look for an excess alcohol offence, page 124. I'll make this a favourite, but we'll jump through to the offence and we can identify the particular issues with this particular offence. So I may be looking for a 22-month ban. I can bring up my driver disqualification date calculator, and based on today's date, a 22-month ban would give a reduced disqualification of this date based on a reduction of 5 months and 14 days for successful completion of the driver rehabilitation course. Having passed those dates through to my legal advisor or to the defendant, I can then jump through to calculate the fine for this offence. So we have, in this case, a Band C fine as our starting position. We'll assume the defendant is on a non-disclosed income of £350. We can check that it's a fine of Band C, and we typically have a cost of £85 for this offence in early first hearing. You can adjust these costs if you need to through the setup. We do give you the option of varying or increasing that fine, but typically we would stick with the starting point with a third discount to £350, costs, victim surcharge, and a total fine for this offence and defendant. We've also kept the fine or guideline fines handy for those who wish to compare the fines table with the fines calculator. And finally, just going back to disqualification date calculator, if we're dealing with a case that's been heard on a previous date, we can jump back to when the hearing actually took place. If you also have an iPhone or an iPod Touch, you can install sentencing guidelines on that device. The application is pretty similar between the devices. You can still see additional guidelines, you can still add your own documents into the application, but viewing the actual offence guideline itself, slightly different navigation. You can still favourite an item and go to its page, but it's obviously a little bit small on these types of device screens. We still include adjournment calculator, driver disqualification dates, although the screen layout may be different to the iPad version.